For some context, folks, I tried to shuffle. So I took a safety save in between recordings, as I often do. And that broke the the inevitable dancing, spinning Kim. And I spent I don't know how long shuffling around in this little area trying to get it to happen again. Kim decided he had enough of my shit and went to stand on the stairs instead. Out of the way so I couldn't stand in his hitbox anymore. Isn't that right, Kim? Detective, I really do not understand your shenanigans. Alright. Anyway. The whole reason that he's doing that is because we didn't open up here. Oh. Oh no! Kim! Wait. That works? I feel like I'm the first person who just put a bucket on a shopkeeper's head in Skyrim. I'm sure the screen transition is going to bring him back, but oh my gosh, that was great! Detective, I don't understand what you just did. Me either, Kim. I really don't. Alright. Wait, I did that without the thing I thought I had in this box. Heck! Alright, fine. Wait, did we get the racist thought? Ooh, off-screen shenanigans are catching up with me, folks. I don't like it. You see the yard below. The corpse is no longer there. This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills haphazardly stacked one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush in there somewhere. Look at the toothbrush. It's been used. Quite a lot. But not for scrubbing blood off tiles or anything interesting, it seems. It's clean of chemical odors, too. Just some dried toothpaste on the handle. A very exciting perception, thank you. Look at the medications. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves. Sheet upon sheet and pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners. There's quite the collection in here. Anything of note? He notes in a lowered voice. Search the bottles. Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, histoparidol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them is an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads Nacra. Nacra? This is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around. Hey, Nacra, opioid antagonist. Interesting. That is used for diamorphine overdoses. He nods, then looks at the door. You could say he's on the lookout. Pill sheets? Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs. Well, what do you find? This is going to take a little know-how. Nothing of note. The further you look, the more arcane it gets. You don't know what the rest of this stuff does. But I should. That's a point that I don't necessarily need to spend while Kim is here. All right. Oh, cool. It actually gives us the whole area now in the overhead. I like little details like that. It's important. Nothing new? Nothing new. All right. Time to leave the tiniest loading screen. And how are you?
I was just thinking what a nice evening it is for taking part in a murder investigation.
There was a murder? What is your name, miss, for the record? Clasia Mando. Same name that Titus gave you. It sounds Oreñez, as does her accent. Her birthmarks also signal Oranje. You don't know why, but Oranje girls tend to come speckled with them. Are you from Oranje? Right, sir. Vredford, Republic of Oranje. I guess you could say I'm an Oranje expatriate. Wasn't the tattoo on the hangman an Oranje's map of the waterways? The thought begins to form in your head, then dissipates. Something for later. What is Oranje? A bad memory, officer. The Republic of Oranje is a democratic nation on the Mundi Isola, north of here, over the sea and across the Pale. Over the sea and across the Pale to the disco thing we go. I don't know. It is one of the 6 major Occidental nations to hold stake in the continued occupation of Revachol. People consider it a reasonable superpower. Reasonable? They will make you into a fiscal colony, divert your natural resources, hold patents and shares, but they won't threaten to wipe you out at any time, like Revachol did in its prime. Bad memory of what? Of lilacs and lightning, parks, glass, duraluminum. Vredeford is a conference city. It's always autumn there, and night. At least it was for me. What's so bad about that? Nothing, if you're no longer there. How old are you? I'm 28. She takes a drag. What do you do? What is your specialization? Something stupid. What's that? Oranje's lit. Lit? Oranje's literature. Yes, I know that. It's what I studied at the university. She raises both eyebrows. What's Oranje's lit about? Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranje's. All national literatures are, only the name of the nation changes. What about Revacholian literature? People sometimes reveal things about themselves when they discuss such matters. Revacholian literature too? No. Revacholian lit is about how magnificent and serious Revachol is. It's about how you have to save the world. I do feel the urge to save the world, yes. I guess that's why I'm on this case. That's the natural state of the Revacholian hero. She breathes in the menthol-flavored fumes, savoring it, then breathes out. She seems quite relaxed for a victim of an assault, but of course what seems should not be your priority. What do you do with Oranje lit? Nothing. I do nothing with it. How do you make money then? I made more money just by being than I have with Oranje lit. Being what? Many things. A roller skating instructor, a secretary, Miss Oranje 37. Miss Oranje? Now there is something you should be lingering on. Would it be inappropriate to linger? All things considered, very. Now linger. What is Miss Oranje 37? It's a beauty pageant held in the year of our century 37 in Oranje. She was 14 at the time. Oh boy, one of those. What's a beauty pageant? It's a competition for stupid girls. Men look at them and choose the most beautiful. What is beauty, really, when you have the fewest deviations from the norm? I've been told it's a type of mediocrity that I possess. So you were the most beautiful. Yes, and for that I got a crown and a sash, and a scepter, and a scholarship to study Oranje's lit. You were 14. Indeed. Her voice is indifferent to the number. I don't think I've ever been 14. I don't think I've ever heard anything less relevant to any investigation. Come on, detective, cut him some slack. This guy's been through some heavy-duty emotional stuff. Glacier is trying to get a little bit of separation here between me and Kim. Why is that? Hey, can we look at your passport? I'm afraid you can't, officer. Why is that? Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag in an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets. Thank you for your candor, but why? They say so in your tourist location. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. How do I know you've told us your real name? If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Glacier Amando. It's a weird name. She seems to be telling the truth, sire. I'm pretty sure I have the legal right to demand your passport, miss. Look, Officers, I like this place, but I don't want to be stuck wandering the city like a ghost after being robbed of my travel documents. I don't want to become an indentured servant in a brothel on Boogie Street, and I don't want my relatives to pay the ransom. There are plenty of other reasons for hiding your documents from the law, though. That's not why you hid it. It's also why I hid it. Why else? He's suddenly very attentive. I'm an unpopular girl. There are people back home who don't like me. If they show up, I'm in a hurry. The kind of hurry when you can't afford to not find your documents. But don't worry, this has nothing to do with your investigation. What kind of people are these, the ones that don't like you? I would love to change the subject. It's not important. Unless I'm some kind of suspect. Not yet. Whew. She wipes her brow. Okay then. No, well, can I go back down that road again? No, I can't. Okay then. This is a tricky conversation. Okie dokie. She pours herself more coffee. How is your cup that? That is a tiny cup. It is not to get that long of a pour. If any of this made her nervous, it certainly didn't show in her expression or her movements. Thank you, that's it for the record. The record. So official. Nice room you've got here. Yeah, it's pretty deluxe. What are you doing here in the whirling and rags? I'm wintering. How long have you been... Whoa, hello, lights. How long have you been staying here? About 4 months. I came in November. The bills downstairs agree. Why here? Here in the whirling? Here in Martinet? Or here in Revachol? Top down. Here in the whirling. Because it's the funkiest building in Martinet. And because all the other buildings are bombed to hell. Here in Martinet. I heard this is where all the washed-up disco has-beens go. You came to the right place. She looks at you and nods. You're in Revachol. I always wanted to see the only city in the worst time of the year. It's a tourist thing. Well, can't argue with that. Here on the Insulindian Isola. Came to see the new world. It's a tourist thing. What happened to the old New World? It turned out to be a Zareth-infested third world slum. Called Ilmara, and it didn't. Even after the Mesca colonized it 7 ways from Sunday, it's an industrial powerhouse. I am interested in this because I'm going to be blunt. I was a lot more careful when I've done this before, and this Harry doesn't yet know how over his head he is in. What happened to the old world? Conference centers. A lot of them. That window is new. It is. She moves slightly to the left to check her reflection in it. The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook. You have quite the collection of drugs down there. No, are we going to snoop so openly? Not yet. Did you know that door leads to an elevator? I did not. Mystery solved then. I kept wondering where it led. There may be more to this mystery at some later time. She is holding back. Let's make a mental note for now. There's a peephole on the other side looking into your bedroom. A peephole? You mean like a hole in the wall? Yes, looking into your bedroom, miss. The lieutenant points to her window. The unmade bed is visible through the glass. Okay. There's a pause as she processes this. A jitter of fear and disgust moves through her body, beginning from her shoulders and ending in her hips. The cigarette tastes foul to her now. Do you think this is somehow connected to me? We don't know at this point. Okay. Do you have any way of knowing how long it's been there? Unfortunately, no. But if I were to guess, long enough. The perforation is under the bookshelf on your wall. It should not be hard to cover with some tape. If it is recent, who do you think made it? Shit, I don't know. Maybe it's been there for a long time. Maybe the local kids use it or something. I don't know. I'll be fucking and covering it up with a lot of tape, that's for sure. Was there anything else back there? Yeah, tracks on the floor. They're recent. This isn't good. She is straight as a stick, suddenly. She feels like quarry, encircled. Her eyes dart to the door. It's an old pinball workshop. This place used to be an arcade. I'm glad someone's had fun. That's all. Mm-hmm. She flicks the ash absentmindedly. You know what? We're going to go there anyway. We have quite the collection of prescription drugs down there. Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it, she says, without any discernible irony. Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol, but you should still reprimand her. No further questions on that. No, I'm going to ask, how did you get all those? With money, sir. It's not exactly the anti-star-sized caboodle I intend for it to be one day, but it's getting there. Antistar is, or was, a vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs. He did so many drugs, he eventually mutated into a corpse. The collection included Nakra, opioid antagonist. Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids. Is that something that happens to you often, miss? His tone isn't aggressive, just inquisitive. Better safe than sorry. That's all as far as that goes, then. Very funky. She takes a drag, looking you straight in the eye. Other questions? Okay. She's watching herself, reflected in the bedroom window, tall and sparkling and draped in smoke. Does that really give us anything? No. All right. They tell us you were assaulted. It's a bit early in the morning for assaulted, isn't it? Actually, it's evening, miss. I was going to make that point in my commentary if the game didn't. Is it? Squinting, she takes a look around. The sun sets in the sea, and long shadows pass over the plaza below. It is evening. Time flies, man. She looks into her coffee cup. So were you? Yeah. She draws out the word. I'm going to go with not assaulted. I don't want to say that shit about him. By him, she must mean the victim. Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more assaultable. Are you saying that you were asked to tell us that you were assaulted? Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice some things up again, some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. Titus asked you to spice things up for us? Pretty much. She cradles her coffee cup in both hands, warming them. What can you tell me about him? Name, eyes, age? I'm sorry. I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him like he is now. I can't talk about this. I don't know, hair? Another puff, more nervous. I know it's difficult. We can return to it later. So, normally that has a longer dialogue, and it's about the fact that she can't do it while he's still there? Is it still tied to the corpse being in the city, in this area, even though it's in the fridge? Interesting. What did happen between you and the victim? We partied. Wait, partied? Where have I heard that before? A lot of partying going on. From Titus, about her and Titus's relationship. That's where you heard it. I don't get it. What do you mean, partied? We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. She takes a sip of her coffee. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him. What else? Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex. You were lovers? I guess you could say that, yeah. A bit. Lovers is such an emotional word. But there was something there. We did enough drugs for there to be. How did you two meet? The lieutenant's voice is quiet, calm. Downstairs, she taps on the roof with her 10-centimeter heel. 10 centimeter? I'm not going to lie, folks. I'm going to take about 4 seconds and convert that. 4 inches? Okay. Yeah. Not unreasonable. Don't look at me like that, okay? At the bar. He was on some sort of assignment. A military man, you know. Had a cool, scary scar. When was this? A month ago? Something like that. It must have been hard for you, seeing him there. Oh, yes, I've had a great view, she says bitterly. From the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams. A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look to the lieutenant. He takes a small step closer. You called us, the RCM. Yes. Jackpot. The call. That was you? I made it. And I would appreciate if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinet, they call it snitching. Reporting crimes is confidential and ravishol, miss. Before we go on, if it's snitching, then why do it? Because I couldn't handle it anymore. None of these people called. He just kept hanging there. Then they started stripping him. The caller's voice was disguised. I didn't exactly disguise it. I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. Nicked it how? With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into the cold wire. So she's Garth's mystery phone cutter. And in the process, he broke the landline downstairs. Did I? Fuck, I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing. She says about diverting radio fuzz into the cold wire. Jigsaw falling into place. This is satisfying. Good catch. I appreciate the symmetry. Still, that's pretty clever tampering. Simple and clever, crossing the lines like that. Seems like you had some idea what you were doing. Good catch. That was nifty. Thanks. She manages a smile. She looks a little bit like a little girl who's just been complimented on her bike repair skills. Why go through all the trouble? I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires. Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do. I didn't want to, sir, but if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there. What are they hanging for, if not assault? He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it. And his role in this strike was what? I think it was in a security detail. He was ex-military. Worked 4 Wild Pines and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous. And they lynched him for it? She nods. How do the Hardy Boys know you? They're frequent guests downstairs. They have a booth for Union members. They're probably down there now. And how did you meet? Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter. Did you party? A little, yeah. Like you partied with the deceased? No, not as hard. I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys? I have. Which one? Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter. All right, I've got to... are you sure you weren't assaulted? I'm 89% sure. Does that mean you're 11% not sure? You know how it is. Do you? How is it then? Maybe you don't know. The ash she flicks lands on her jumpsuit and she brushes it off. There are numerous cigarette burns on the silvery scales of the jumpsuit. Easy to see now that you're closer. In conclusion, officer, I'm going to go with a mild to medium not assaulted here. It still sounds like something happened and you don't want to acknowledge it. Let me make this 100% clear then, officer. I was not assaulted. Would I be as flippant if I had been? Yes. Yeah, you would, because I joke about my trauma all the time. Thank you for telling this, miss. She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid. We should head back downstairs, officer. We may have things to discuss there. I had something else before we go, a little thing. We're not doing that yet. Autosave. I know I have some half-light. Question is the game going to let us have that again?
I was just thinking what a nice evening it is for taking part in a murder investigation.
Oh no, not this one. You do know how it is. Yeah, I do. Sure you do, you disco animal. She cuts you down to size with her light brown eyes. Lieutenant, I don't know what to say about this. I'm sorry, miss, but we need a definite statement. All right, then the same we already had. Volition 14. We only have 4, and I don't think anything we have really affects it. All right, first off, get the itchy pants off. Ugh. That's savoir-faire. That's savoir-faire. Give me the jeans again, I guess. Oh wow, those look ridiculous. We only have 1 skill point at the moment. Let's step away for a bit. Out of curiosity, I'm still pretty certain I don't have volition. Or at least I don't have positive volition. All right. Actually, we're gonna go down. We are gonna go the full way downstairs. Kim, try not to walk over us in the process. I do not know what you are talking about, detective. Kim, if you want to dance, we'll do it in a later episode, okay? Dance.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window.
Do you think this will make them cooperate? Nothing will make them respect the Elysium, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off 1 layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan. Why did she tell us all that? What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it. I'm not sure she had to lie. I wouldn't have known. If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her. No, between that passport thing, this whole thing is fishy. Something is off here. You think so? A shadow runs across his face. She seemed forthcoming, unusually so. Being forthcoming about some things is a good way to obscure other things. The best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our investigation will bring us back here soon enough. Me too, Kim. Me too. Are we going to do this right now? Probably. So much for unlocking the new area. I'm so excited.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Oh, did I forget to do this? I did forget to do this. Titus.
It's you again. What is it?
Clausia says she wasn't assaulted. Fuck! The big man's eyes and veins bulge. I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted. Whoa! Calm down. For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her. Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He assaulted her. He was out of his fucking mind. You have no idea. She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't fucking trust you. Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch, you know the type. She's fucked up. This is a diversion. Stay on track. Crazy? No, cut the bullshit. She told me the truth. Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her. His hands become fists. And you went and pushed her. Something breaks in him. He takes a step closer and says, I am gonna fucking hit you. Duck! Titus Hardy! Her voice rings through the room like a warning shot. Everard personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the sheet. But you, Titus Hardy, are going to be buried. Am I understood? When she's angry, she emphasizes the S. It gives her voice a strangely hypnotic quality. I wish I would have known that before I voiced that. Her lips barely move as she speaks. Frankly, it's a bit terrifying. Someone has to rush in to break the tension. The second in command. Look, Copper. We know the dead fuck was an assaulter and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T. He turns to Titus, who's still breathing heavily. What's the right? Here, jerkwad. He slams an audio tape on the table. Listen to this shit, and then come back and tell me the soldier of apocalypse was an innocent man. This is their last play, the tape. Their story is in tatters, a mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point, you don't need to. What's on this tape? What's on it? We call it the Door Gunner Mega Mix. You'll know why once you listen to it. Now that is intriguing. You had me at Door Gunner. Where'd you get it? You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that. Actually, there are a few. Cryptoanalyst, radio... Actually, there are numerous degrees you can get in signals intelligence. Yeah, like you have one? Smartass. He looks to his left. There's a beer there he forgot. Success? Beer. I wonder what the failure on that would have been. I think that would have been more interesting. So you bugged them? How? We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced stuff. Understood. You've listened in on their communications. How long? Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons. Things got nice and quiet after that. Which one of you is doing this radio work then? It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day writing down what they say. It gets hot as hell in there. Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work. Chief picks his beer back up to offer a silent toast. Yeah, man, like you're a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff. Indexes and shit. Where can I listen to it? I'm sure we can find a tape player. Where can I listen to it? Why don't you try shoving it up your ass, genius? Yeah, play it with your ass, cocksucker! His voice echoes like thunder in the small room. I'm sure we can find a tape player. It's not a problem. He repeats calmly in a hushed voice. Your room had one. Maybe it's too broken. Why should I care about this tape? You lied to me. You don't care about evidence? The fuck are you a cop for then? His eye twitches. Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They're fucking keeping score on their bulletin boards. I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about. There's a lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll just keep bringing up the tape. Why don't we just listen to it and they'll have nothing to hide behind? All right. That's enough. I'll get back to the investigation. Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy. Fine. I'll listen to it. You do that. And keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday. You have anything new?
Nothing to say to you.
Okay. How about you?
Again, I can't believe this shit.
He shakes his head, looking like he really is having trouble believing this shit. Let's talk about the hangman again. Do you know who hanged him? Not yet. Hey, why am I even telling you this? I don't know. Why are you? So, in the replay, I actually ended up getting a passive logic, question mark, success that healed morale that said that talking to him about a case felt familiar. It was the only thing that differed between the two recordings, and I meant to mention it. Sure didn't. It's kind of how memory goes sometimes, folks. Oh no, run away before the track starts. No, 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 no. Why? Because we know where there's a tape player, don't we? We do.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
I'm looking for something that plays a tape for police business. Yeah, we still have those boom boxes on the shelves. All right. Can I just play a tape on one of the boom boxes real quick? Sorry, man. I can't be giving out freebies. Never have. Won't now. What about a police discount? A discount? I do have to keep the lights on, man. It's 12 real. A man like that? In a neighborhood like this? In a rickety house falling into the sea? There's fear in him. Use it to your advantage. Careful. You can only do this once. Aren't you afraid of masked gunmen, the roof falling in, killer waves, aircraft accidents, botched surgeries? 4 real. No, not really. I expect momentous change at any moment, but it seems that you are... He almost sounds concerned and seems to weigh your offer. Fine. 4 real it is. Success. Sort of. Whatever gets the job done, right? Here's your 4 real. Thanks for the discount. And here you are. Quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play anything, wherever. Turn any tape into a conversation of sounds and shapes. Alright. That is a weird looking tape player. Equip this to play tapes. I forgot all about that. Look at Radio Raheem over here. Oh, man. Oh boy. Let's put that back on. Hang on, are we smoked up? For a little bit. This is the reel-to-reel boombox of everyone's youth. The Harman Wowshi W02. A little banged up, a little chipped, and honestly not that loud either. That's why we're carrying it that way. Looks cool though. Excels at being carried on the shoulder, allowing you to play audio type items and blast music into the face of unsuspecting strangers. A magnetic tape acquired from Titus Hardy. It supposedly holds a recording of the Mercenary Task Force radio communications, recorded via a de-encryption station. Not a good omen. Requires a boombox to play. The porta reel is just what you needed. The reel's attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader. Play it. Ow! Jeez! Alright, let me, now that I've deafened everyone, minus 14 to minus 23 decibels for game sound. He said, talking about the technical aspects that possibly nobody else cares about. It might be too late, and if so, sorry. You push commence, and the tape player starts spinning. Violent static and machine sounds sure filled the air. This isn't Revachol. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants. Another loud screech. Some kind of machinery. The arbor. The lieutenant takes out his notebook. That's the sound of a Kvalsenkring. Oh, the same one we were playing with? Perhaps. Psh, when this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Kill shit, dogs, and chickens too. Gonna rent a room, Cordy. A real nice one. This part is unintelligible. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally. I'll fucking do them all in. Psh, that little disco on the counter. You know, the do it Kohoi style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth. A click, then silence. The rest of the tape is empty. Oh boy, that's a lot of bad stuff. The lieutenant presses the button marked arrête on your porter reel. The tape stops spinning. What was that at the end? Silence? End of recording. What do you think? It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off of their shortwave, then edited to seem even more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls. I agree. He also sounded inebriated. Still. The lieutenant looks at the tape. You're familiar with this look now. It's his look of suspicion. Who's Cordy? Corty could be short for Courtnar. Of the other mercenaries, the one he was talking to. Probably the mountain at the arbor gates. Mr. Right to Work. What about Kohoi? A village on the Samaran Isola in South Safra. Grad committed war crimes there. The kind of thing he talks about. The South Safra conflict is an ongoing proxy war between Grad and Safra. It's been hot for 12 years with the atrocities piling on, mostly committed by the Grad. You think he was there? Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service. A symbol of soldier of apocalypse style conduct in a civil environment. Ooh. I thought we already got that story. All right then, what now? Remove the tape. A village on the Samaran Isola in South Safra. Grad committed war crimes there. The kind of things he talks about. Oh, Okay. I think we've got a few more questions for Klasia, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree. As you take out the tape, the boombox itself turns back to the cheery radio again, spewing out beats like it's a Friday night. Hoo-wee! That is great. Hey, while we're at it, this tape you found from a shack on the coast. The porter reel is just what you needed. The reel's attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader. Press play. You press the large button marked Commence, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing. I will often go there to the tiny church there. Press your ear against the speaker. It sounds like someone's moving in the room, getting comfortable. Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune, echoing in the hallway. A lone singing voice joins in, telling you about the tiniest church in Sansan, surrounded by an even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. It's mega sad. Within seconds, you know, this is the one, the real shit you've been looking for. The one you trashed your room to that Klasia told you about. Perform it. A click, then silence. For a bit. Then the tape stops spinning. I could sing this. Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. And you already know the lyrics since you've listened to it like a million times. Yep, they're all here. All 3 verses. And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Only one obstacle stands in your way now. What? Guard. You have to convince him to let you sing karaoke. After you've won him over, you can express yourself. Let the pain out. Make everyone understand. The lieutenant looks at you as you remove the tape from the boombox. He doesn't say anything. Boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants. All right, I've listened to your door gunner mix. It's not pretty, but it's not damning either.
It's you again. What is it?
I don't need to tell him that, I don't think. I don't know, do we need camaraderie with him? Kind of. 6 minutes. Okay, we need to get rid of that 6 minutes so I can re-smoke in a moment. 16 Days in Coldest April. The cover features a row of concrete buildings with a monochrome rainbow in the sky. It tells a rather excruciating story about 2 lovers during an ethnic unrest in Yugograd. The book has been filed under psychological realism. In your hand, you hold 16 Days of Coldest April by Yekartina Dal. The cover image shows a row of concrete apartments. We already did that. Feels heavy. Indeed, the book is unusually heavy in your hands, as though the cover were lined with lead. They would do that in Grad. How long is this book? You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the type quite small and tightly set. It's nearly 600 pages long. Real art is dense and difficult. If you didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear to get through it, you weren't really reading. Look at the back cover. The back cover is dominated by a black and white photograph of the author. What does she look like? She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph, and yet from this cover, the eyes of a sad old woman stare back at you. Start reading. In cold, detached prose, the author describes a scene from one of the Yugograd riots in the 20s. Youths overturn motor carriages and set trash cans ablaze, while heavily armored guardsmen dash in and disperse them in a flurry of baton blows. Did I mention I'm playing this game in 2020 in the US? The Yugograd riots took place from 27 to 29, fueled by ethnic unrest and the state's repressive tactics. These events are often seen as marking the end of a brief period of liberalization known as the Yugograd Spring. Like all such periods, it is frequently memorialized in art and literature. It also kind of reminds me of, like, what was Yugoslavia falling apart after Tito. I mean, yes, the name is supposed to make that more obvious, but it's a very specific time frame. In excruciating detail, the author describes the socio-economic conditions that have brought the people of Yugograd into the streets, centuries of humiliations and despair. And then, during these riots, 2 young people meet. It would physically hurt you to keep reading, are you sure? Fuck it! Do it! It can't be worse than what you've already felt. Do it! Woo! Their happiness is fleeting. A cruel jest. The absurdity of the state totally crushes them. They end up betraying each other. She becomes an official for the regime, and he, a lens grinder and Ferdinand. Who knows? The end. Good stuff. You fucking loved this! Alright, put it away. And that's why I bought so much healing stuff, folks, because cigarettes are not good for you. You know what else is not good for you? Ending an episode. Till then.